have another presentation, and this will focus on the creative industry. Do we have anyone from the creative industry here? Signify by showing your hands, raise your hands. Creative industry? Okay, a few, great. So this conversation is focused on the impact of technology on the creative industry. And right after this, we will go into the pitching session. So just to quickly announce that for everyone who is participating in the hackathon, you have to be to my right. So you have to sit on the third and fourth rows here, just be to my right. That's where you would get up from and come to the stage for your presentation. I'll be introducing the founder and chief executive officer of Cinemax Distribution Limited. He has over 21 years business management, entertainment, advisory, and entrepreneurship experience. He also has 10 years in the financial and investment banking sector. He'll be delivering the next presentation on the impact of technology on the creative industry. Please give a warm round of applause as we now receive Mr. Ajayi, the founder and chief executive officer of Cinemax Distribution Limited. We can't deny that technology has impacted all industries. There is no industry that is left behind. So he'll be talking to us on the impact of technology on the creative industry. Welcome him with a warm round of applause. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ajayi. It's great to be here, and thank you to Zenith Bank, the management and board for inviting me to this tech fair. When I posted that I was going to be speaking at this tech fair, a number of people asked me if I was now in tech. So my favorite answer was, is Zenith Bank a tech company now as well? So if Zenith can have a tech fair, then I can speak at a tech fair. So it's great to be here. As was said earlier, my name is Ajayi. I'm a distributor, I'm a producer. I also have experience working in cinemas. So pretty much I say that I've worked across the value chain, and I do work across the value chain of the film business. I'm also the national president of the Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria. Okay, it looks like some of my slides are not very clear, but I was going to speak on the impact of impact of technology on entertainment. And this slide is supposed to have some pictures, which hasn't quite come out. But entertainment is very broad. Content, games, music, sports, and incidentally, we heard a bit about music earlier. But I'm going to narrow in really into content. Again, for some reason, some of the slides are not showing very well. I'm going to speak a lot about content and talk about how content has been affected over the years. So this slide is supposed to have an image of a film that has just been produced. Oh dear. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and speak about, even though you can't see the image on this, the image that is on the picture. So 15 years ago, if you produced a film in Nigeria, typically what you will do is, you had the option of going to cinemas, but you also had the option of DVD. DVD was probably one of the biggest, the biggest markets at the time. You would typically go and buy a DVD player and play your DVD at the house. That was the biggest routes to market 15 years ago. Today is very different, and today you have, I think the major difference is the video on demand, okay? So today you have films going on streaming platforms. I'm sure everyone has a mobile phone or has Netflix or Prime or YouTube, as the case may be. So you have different versions of video on demand. You have transactional video on demand, you have streaming video on demand, and that has revolutionized the film business significantly. So I'm just going to speak about 5 areas where the industry has been affected significantly. The first area is unleashing creativity. Technology has affected our routes to market, but has also affected even more the way films are produced. Okay, now we have local films. Today we're producing films that are action films. It's all a function of technology. It's a function of how films have been able to evolve. So unleashing creativity, you can pretty much do anything you think of in today's world, in today's market. And that has been shown in the course of the year with films produced in Nigeria trending across the world. Production values have increased significantly. Technology has affected the quality of our production. You have VFX, you have all sort of special effects that go into making films today, and that has made a massive impact on the types of content we're able to produce. Distribution, which I think is perhaps the biggest change, when you look at how things were 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Today, like I said earlier, everyone has access to streaming platforms, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Prime, or whatever, or YouTube, as the case may be. That's pretty much one of the ways in which people consume content that wasn't there before. Now, this has created an entire new ecosystem and an entire economy, for filmmakers and for content makers. It's also improved audience engagement and personalization. I spoke about that as well with using telephones and different platforms in which you're able to consume content. And I think one of the most important things in what technology has done is opened up an entire new world of revenue generation. Back in the day, I remember a few filmmakers, when they make films in Nigeria and they sell it in DVD, they will take it abroad and go and sell at carnivals. That's what we're doing 10, 15 years ago. Today, you can, from the comfort, after producing a film that you find that is, depending on the quality, you can release globally. Earlier in the year, we saw films like Black Book and films like Gangs of Lagos, which were trending in 20, 30 countries across the world. What this means is that content makers can earn money locally, they can earn money internationally, and that changes the game. It also means that a lot of investments can go into production. So because now the revenue capacity is significantly improved. Now, the other side of the coin is, if with everything that is positive, there are also the negative sides of things. And some of the other side of the coin, which is the first thing, is piracy. Piracy remains a major scourge. Just the same way, content is readily available online, there are also people who are able to pirate the film, and it impacts the revenue generation. And, I think perhaps this is one of the places to also mention why the telcos are not doing a bit more in this area, because there are websites that are dedicated to pirating films and releasing those films. Surely the telcos should be able to identify those websites and perhaps with a bit more coordination, be able to tackle this issue of piracy. Competition is very fierce, just the same way it's now a global market. As you're producing content in Nigeria, people are producing in Korea, they're producing in Thailand, all over the world. So it's a global competitive space now. It also means that skill development needs to be much better, because as with new technology, you need to learn how to use the technology and learn how to apply it to your films, to your distribution, and so on and so forth. There's an illusion of opportunities. Sometimes when the options seem so much, it then appears that there's so much, but in reality, perhaps a lot of times, those of us who are in the content business, when we're producing, you need to have a target to exactly who your target market is and where those targets, where they consume the content, because not everybody consumes content in the same way. So it's important to be able to dissect that. And finally, a point on artificial intelligence, which is like the buzzword now, and everything, technology, everyone is talking about artificial intelligence. I think if you're following our industry over the last year or so, you've heard about strikes in Hollywood. And one of the things that has, beyond obviously earning more, one of the things that has been extremely pertinent in the discussions were the impact of AI on jobs. So while before, if you have the voice of somebody, if you have my voice, if you need me to do a script, you need me to come physically. But with AI, you don't need me physically anymore. What it means is if you have my voice, you can actually just, superimpose it on a movie. And that's a real issue, which, contracts and discussions have been going on resolving. So this is the other side of it. I think in conclusion, technology has significantly affected the film business, the content business, affected how films are made, affected how content is consumed, and also affected how content is monetized. Very important, it's opened an entire new world of revenue monetization. and create a world of opportunities for Nigerians in the content business that can literally become global, once you produce the right content, and you have your right target market. Thank you very much.